When was the last time you had to change your mind? I was born in the heart of Africa. My mother used to joke that we both grew up in the 1940s. We had no paved roads. We had a diesel generator, but it only ran part of the day. My father flew relief missions, and my family survived 2 wars and a coup. When I was 5, my friend Bardwell got his leg blown off by a landmine. This was not a normal childhood, but I didn't know that. When we came back to the States, I desperately wanted to impress new friends, and I found a perfect opportunity at a high school football game. You see, here in the Pacific Northwest, just like in Africa, when rain comes after a dry season, termites take to flight. My moment had come. I gathered my classmates' attention and plucked a flying ant out of the air. And then with flourish, I popped it into my mouth, expecting awe and adulation. In the endless moment that followed, while I started to chew, the feedback I experienced couldn't have been farther from what I expected. You may not know this, but around here, eating bugs is not a good way to meet friends and influence people. I guess I've always seen things a little differently. Maybe challenging popular opinion is the best way to make progress. Imagine if we'd listened to the experts, what we would have lost in technology and medicine and music. And fire. Imagine life without fire. Down in South Africa, Wonderwork Cave holds the charred remains of plants and animals dated 1 million years ago, our first example of controlled fire. Before that cave, fire was an exclusively destructive force. But learning to control fire gave us cooking and warmth and security. Fire powered human progress for 1 million years. Let me shorten the time frame a bit. In the last 200 years, average life expectancy has more than doubled from 31 years to 72 years. In just the last 20 years, the percentage of humanity that lives in abject poverty has been cut in half globally. At this moment, by almost every measurable statistic, we are better off than anyone else living anywhere else at any other time in history. So, yes, knowledge is power, but knowing is deceptive. At Edmonds College, our Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship offers public access to millions of dollars of advanced manufacturing equipment. From 3D printing to laser cutting, from welding to composites, it's a sandbox for restless creators. We also offer an expanding catalog of 2-hour classes that are specifically designed to transform skill sets and mindsets. If you don't think of yourself as an innovator, let me ask you a question. Despite all of our progress, are you still completely satisfied with the direction the world is headed? Think back over the last 48 hours. Have you experienced anything, maybe the first 3 minutes of this talk, that's left you with a feeling of dissatisfaction? If anything comes to mind, that's your subconscious telling you, like it or not, you may be an innovator. You have a role to play. The future is simply an accumulation of human decisions. It isn't written yet. Now, as we emerge from a few particularly unpredictable years, we are faced with profound challenges and changes moving forward. These challenges won't be solved with the same thinking that created them. We desperately need new perspectives to help us climb out of our entrenched thinking. We need more people working to create a better future. Now, don't get me wrong. We don't want 100% innovators. Imagine the chaos. What we need is maybe 15% of the world pushing against the status quo. Sadly, that's nowhere near what we have. In terms of patents per capita, innovation peaked in 1875, about the time that Alexander Graham Bell was inventing the telephone. In terms of entrepreneurship per capita, innovation peaked in 1975, about the time a 19-year-old named Bill and his good friend Paul founded a company called Microsoft. We desperately need more people creating a better future. But tragically, what we have is fewer and fewer individuals shaping our world. Why so few? You've come today to hear from subject matter experts with ideas worth sharing, and what a ride it's been. My subject matter expertise is failure. Most people think my job is telling starry-eyed dreamers whether their ideas will work or not, but that's an impossible task. My opinion isn't reality. And it's humbling how many of our customers accomplish things that I was secretly sure wouldn't work. Our job is to nurture imagination and to push it toward reality where it can be tested as quickly as possible, to ensure that if dreams die, they die of natural causes. I ask everyone, why do startups fail? There are hundreds of answers that can all be summed up in 3 words: fear of failure. Failure is inevitable, and that realization paralyzes us. But failure is also an illusion. It's the result of a broken mental model. You see, we think and act like we can predict the future, but we can't. There is a subtle mutation where what we should consider as our growing body of knowledge gets calcified into a culture of knowing. In this culture of knowing, our default programming, curiosity, gets overwritten by powerful social forces that value confidence and certainty above all else. Picture yourself around that primordial fire 1 million years ago, how quickly we adapted to the comfort and safety of this destructive force. By its glow, you see everything clearly. But out there, in the darkness, how quickly everything out there, everything outside, all our ancient fears, rejection, isolation, became a terrifying mystery. The light of that fire is like what Mike Rother calls our threshold of knowledge. Inside is confidence and certainty, and we instinctively cling to what we think we know. But what is the result? In 1843, Henry Ellsworth, Federal Patent Office Commissioner, reported to Congress, "The advancement of the arts from year to year taxes our credulity and seems to presage the arrival of that period where human improvement must end." You see, the culture of knowledge drags a Stone Age mindset into our space age world. Remember, the building blocks of everything we've discovered, the raw materials of all our technology and medicine and music were already there 1 million years ago. In the mystery just outside our threshold of knowledge, there's also wonder and opportunity and progress. But the culture of knowing makes us believe that if what we expect isn't what we experience, we've failed. You share your plan with your boss and explain what you expect to happen. Your boss shares her plan with you and explains what she expects. In either case, if what you expect isn't what you experience, do you feel like a failure? This is ridiculous. Failure fuels progress. When you're innovating, what you expect exists solely in your mind. It's in your imagination. What you experience is reality. If there's tension in that gap, it feels like failure. But it's not. It's discovery. If what you expect is exactly what you experience, you got nothing new. And without discovery, there is no progress. What if we adopted a mindset that made that tension a positive experience? Here's what I'm asking. Reject the culture of knowing and help build a culture of learning. At the center of innovation and entrepreneurship, our goal is to democratize and de-risk innovation. We do this by making failure cheap, fast, and fun. Every week, we meet ordinary individuals like you and me with extraordinary ideas. These creators cannot know today what they need to know tomorrow. So we encourage them to get moving immediately and pick up the skills and knowledge they need along the way. Cameron recaptures the sound of an almost extinct instrument. Pierce fabricates an autonomous robot sailboat. Heather reimagines housing construction and inspires middle schoolers across the country. Beth develops a pneumatic gripper so her friend can finally pick up her phone when she drops it on the floor. And Jeff creates the Pilda so people with Parkinson's can more easily sort their mountain of pills. In each case, they dramatically tighten feedback loops with an iterative process that prioritizes discovery. We can help you turn a thought into a thing, move from imagination to reality faster than you ever thought possible, because we believe that one test is worth 1,000 expert opinions. If this sounds exciting, it is. I'm going to ask you, don't leave this as an abstract idea. Work out its implications in your life. The next time you feel that sense of dissatisfaction, you sense a flicker of an idea just outside your grasp, give your subconscious some respect. Sketch what you're thinking. Buy someone a coffee and explain your idea. Before you start obsessing with global distribution and intellectual property rights, ask yourself, what is the smallest step I can take right now to test this idea, to push it out of my head and into the real world? I expect you'll experience 2 positive results. First, you'll fail, but you'll fail early when the risk is small and both you and your idea are resilient. Honestly, the less you spend on an experiment, the more likely you are to escape cognitive bias and actually listen to feedback. Second, the failure, the feedback you receive will be a lot less catastrophic than you imagined. You'll start to try things that you used to think were impossible. And you'll stop being surprised when some of these crazy ideas actually work. But don't take my word for it. Run the experiment. Be first. If you find yourself out on the edges of possibility, you'll also find your people. You'll push and fail together. But you'll also learn and make progress. In time, you'll stop waiting for the world to change, and you'll embrace the fact that you're an original, and actually, the world is waiting for you. Thank you.